Hi, welcome to Greyhound TV. I'm Grant Carey alongside John Williams. Excited to bring you this year's season opener for the Gilman Greyhounds as they look to defend their title. John, how do you think the Gilman Greyhounds are going to want to start off this season?
Yeah, Grant, Gilman's really got a great lineup. They're so deep this year. They have great hitters, passers, setters, you name it. Starting with the passers, I mean, you have you have Tyler Witherspoon playing libero. He's an all-star. Setting starter Cole Philippou. He's been on fire this season. And then they have multiple great hitters, including John McGowan, Cam Alexander, Chase Drew. I could go on and on, Grant. Gilman's just so deep this year. It's incredible. I'm excited to see how they do against St. Paul's today.
Yep, tons of senior leadership, as we'll see with the starting lineup. And the Gilman student section looks ready for another season of Gilman volleyball. Gilman this year trying to three-peat. And John, who would you say are some of the key hitters for Gilman?
Some of the key hitters? Well, again, I'd say Chase Drew, John McGowan, Cam Alexander. They're all so tall they can just jump up and smack it right down on St. Paul's. So I think they're going to have a great game today if they just come out playing their regular game, have some energy today. That's what's really important. There was talk about Gilman having all their games in the arena this year, which everyone was a little disappointed about on the volleyball court. But it's a good thing we're having it in the old gym because this place is electric. It gets so loud in here. And, yeah, everything's going to be great.
The Deaf Dome, as they call it.
Deaf Dome, indeed.
Looks like the starters are going to be Stephen Lee, John McGowan, Cole Philippou, Matt Smith, Tyler Witherspoon, and Cam Alexander. So 6 seniors to start for the Greyhounds. Witherspoon, the libero.
Our line judges today are Sam Slater and Zach Gavello, JV volleyball players themselves. Looking to make it big next year as they move up to varsity.
So it looks like St. Paul's will be serving first. This is Jake Trone. That one sails out. Not the start you're looking for if you're St. Paul's and Gilman gets an early point.
No, you got to think it might be some early game jitters. I mean, this is a junior, so Jake Trone is, so this is his first varsity game. You got to guess that he's a little rattled here.
Matt Smith, the service for Gilman. That one into the net, and that's a point for Gilman.
Gilman coming out here looking very confident. They got a good serve, not making any mistakes, although they haven't had any chances yet.
Couple of early unforced errors for the Crusaders. If they want to stay in this game against the powerful Gilman team, they can't have those. Smith can't get that. And the St. Paul's Crusaders are on the board.
That was a nice hit by Matt Gajewski.
Declan Pollard on the service for St. Paul's. Not much of a jump serve there. And that's going to be Gilman's point. I'm not sure what the...
I think the server there stepped on the line, Grant.
Oh.
You got to watch out for these flip faults here. The refs are watching.
McGowan now.
And another unforced error by St. Paul's. They need to clean this up in order to have a successful night tonight.
Yeah, not an overly powerful serve, just good placement there from McGowan. Quickly, a 3-point lead for the Hounds. McGowan trying to get on a little bit of a run here. Solid serve. It's a free ball for Gilman. Back row hit from Matt Smith sails. So it's 4-2 now. Felipe Sondri. Student section really getting into it. letting their server here, and that's a huge slam from Cam Alexander.
He is coming out tonight on fire.
He can jump out of the gym.
That's not an exaggeration. And as the crowd is shouting, we've got Cam. Cam has been playing incredibly well in practice recently. Just gets up there, smacks it down. No effort at all.
You've got to think that Gilman's going to look for him throughout the game.
Yeah, he's proven to be a great leader this year so far. I think if they just keep up their leadership, hope St. Paul's has another unforced error.
Yeah, an errant
like
pass there from Lichtenstein and Abrams. That serve into the net for Abrams. So still a 3-point lead for the Greyhounds. As Molinar steps up to serve. Good form on that serve, but it sails out. Another one of those for St. Paul's. If they want to keep this match competitive, they're going to have to start hitting their serves.
This has been a sloppy game so far, Grant. Both sides are having a few unforced errors, mostly on St. Paul's, but everyone's got to clean it up a little bit.
Chance for St. Paul's, and that hit sails wide. That was Jagowski. St. Paul's can't really get anything inside the lines right now. Alexander, service for Gilman, as it's a 5-point lead. Another chance for St. Paul's. Good dig from libero Tyler Witherspoon. Nice back row hit there from Cam Alexander. That's his second of the game already.
St. Paul's coach is a little fed up with this reffing job here. I've been thinking that it's been flawless, but I think he would beg to differ.
Yeah, that looked in to me. That serve into the net. You can see Cam not happy with that, but single-handedly won 2 points for the Hounds so far, and it's a 9-4 lead for the Hounds. That serve again into the net. St. Paul's can't get their serves in. Another opportunity for Gilman now.
We don't have the stat book in front of us, but I feel like half the points have been won or lost on missed serves tonight.
At least. Tyler Witherspoon, the lefty. That sails out, so no one really getting their serves in now. Let's see if Frankie Hapney can change that. Good set from Abrams to Smith. A nice block. That looked like it was out, but Witherspoon elected to play it. Good hit there from St. Paul's.
Disappointing play there for John McGowan as he went right up for the block, but he was just a little off the net. Came right into his hands and fell down on the court.
Looks like a timeout from St. Paul's, as the early score here is 10-6 Hounds. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to this volleyball match. Gilman is clawing to a 10-6 lead here. Unclear what the call is here. looks like they're going to redo the point.
Not quite sure what happened there, Grant. Any ideas?
Not sure, but the referee did whistle the play before Frankie Hapney served. Some confusion with the Gilman coach as there's been a stoppage of play.
I'm trying to listen into the ref here. It's a bit too loud to hear exactly what they're saying, though. As we proceed, play.
Looks like no points were awarded there, so still 10-6 Hounds as Hapney. Solid hit there by McGowan from the middle row. Looks like Cole Philippou will check back in to serve. The senior setter, who is also a lefty. That one finds the net. This theme of unforced errors continues for both teams.
Not really sure what's going on here, Grant, but the only thing I can think of is both teams are a little nervous as this is their season opener.
Solid hit from McGowan. St. Paul's just tries to get it over the net, and they can't even pass it over the net.
Another unforced error.
Especially from the libero, Gabe Lichtenstein.
We saw the same thing in the early parts of the JV game, Grant. A lot of unforced errors, a lot closer than it should have been.
Maybe
although Gilman was able to win in straight sets.
Maybe just some early season jitters. As Alexander winds up.
He's not having jitters.
No. Swing looks very smooth from Cam Alexander. If I were Gilman, I'd keep feeding him and McGowan. Good serve there from Smith. Good hit there from St. Paul's as Lee tries to block it. But that one did sail over. Gilman did not catch a piece of it, so Gilman's point there, now 14-7. That one again sails over. St. Paul's having a really tough time hitting. Matt Smith on a little bit of a service run here. 8-point lead for the Hounds. Philippou the set to Lee, and that one is a beauty from Stephen Lee.
Right down onto their side, off the block. It was good.
Solid serves here from Matt Smith as he looks to keep it going. St. Paul's just can't get a hit down, and McGowan slams that one home.
Great heads-up play by McGowan. He saw that the set by setter Jake Trone on St. Paul's was a little over the net. Saw it went right up to the ball, smacked it down.
Looks like Gilman has really found their groove here in the season opener. Smith again to serve, and another good one. Another point for Gilman. I think St. Paul's touched the net or went under the net. Either way, it's an 11-point lead for the Hounds. And it's got to be at least 6 in a row. Another serve from Smith. See if St. Paul's can get one hit down, and they can't. This one, Alexander tips over. Wonderful placement there. If you're not able to get a swing on it, you need to look for an open spot on the court, and that's exactly what Cam Alexander did, as that's another timeout, I believe, from the St. Paul's Crusaders. Huge run here for the Hounds, as they are now up by 12.
And as we look down to the court, we see St. Paul's student section coming on. sitting right next to Gilman's. Hopefully it doesn't get a little too rowdy.
Gilman's student section still much larger than St. Paul's student section.
I tell you what, that's one of the best things about Gilman sports. They're always able to get a good group out, support the players, get everyone psyched up.
And we'll see if this new student section can inject some life into this St. Paul's volleyball team, because they're a little bit cold right now.
They've lost about 9 or 10 points straight, Grant.
Yep. Matt Smith continues to serve. Gilman just 6 points away from taking an early 1-0 lead.
In a dominating fashion, I might add.
Smith the service for Gilman. Good pass, good set for St. Paul's, but a better block from John McGowan. And the one time that St. Paul's is able to get a good swing on it, McGowan stuffs him. That's got to be frustrating. Chance here for Lee. Another block there by McGowan, but that one sails out. So the first point for St. Paul's in a while, and it's a 12-point lead now for the Hounds.
At 20-8, I don't know what St. Paul's needs to do here. I mean, Gilman has 3 great swingers and blockers up front. Stephen Lee, John McGowan, Cam Alexander. As John McGowan throws down another one.
Massive hit there from John. Bench is going wild. Now McGowan with the chance to serve. If you're St. Paul's, this game seems like it's over, so you might want to just try to build some momentum for the next game.
And that's an unlucky break for St. Paul's as John McGowan's serve just touches the net and drops on the other side.
McGowan checks out now. Bloomberg will be serving. Trying to serve out, only 3 more points needed. That hit sails wide. Another one for St. Paul's. Bloomberg trying to close out this set. Back row hit from Smith sails wide. So now 14-point advantage for Gilman. 2 points away from taking an early 1-0 lead. See if St. Paul's can find some form serving. Alexander, the jump there was a little bit back, but able to adjust and tip that one over.
One of the keys to that hit that was so great was the deception. He went up. You had no idea where he was going to place that one. He could put it anywhere.
Good control there from Alexander as Abrams looks to put this one away.
Set point.
Good serve there. The pass hits the net, and that's it. 1-0 for Gilman in a demanding 16-point win. Gilman will look to close it out when we get back.
Welcome back here as we begin action in the second set. Gilman won the first set in a dominating fashion, 25-8. St. Paul's had difficulties with their unforced errors in the first set. Grant, what do you think St. Paul's needs to do in order to get a little momentum back?
I think they just need to try to get into a rhythm, get some good hits down, maybe get some good serves, and just see if they can keep this game close. Last game they kind of let it get away from them with a massive run in the middle of the game. They can't let that happen here in the second set.
That's true. Gilman, on the other hand, got a great rhythm going. And they were able to get some good hits between John McGowan and Cam Alexander in order to seal the first set, pardon me, in the second half of it.
Looks like Abrams is going to start off serving. Massive hit there from Chase Drew.
What a way to open up this second set here.
He certainly got the height and the jump. St. Paul's can't get a hit on that one. It's a free ball for Gilman. Let's see if they can give Alexander a chance. And that one is in. So a quick 2-0 lead here for the Hounds. Picking up where they left off in the first set.
Aside from not being able to get a rhythm, St. Paul just does not look like they have any energy in the tank.
Not a good pass there. And that hit sails out. Their hitters just don't have the height. They don't have the jump to get the angle. That's why you see so many of their hits sailing out of bounds. Gilman, on the other hand, has been really solid with their hitting. That's a good one there from St. Paul's, as Alex Lawson was unable to get the block.
As it is about 1,000,000 degrees here in the old gym, they've been constantly having to wipe the floor when people fall and drip sweat everywhere. So that just was with Cam Alexander wiping the floor with the towel.
It'll be Jake Trone serving for St. Paul's. Chase Drew, that one sails out, but looks like St. Paul's touched the net.
No, I think that what happened there, Grant, is that Noah Abrams had a double touch.
Oh, so it was St. Paul's point. That serve sails out. St. Paul's, along with their trouble hitting, has had trouble getting their serves inbounds. Cam Alexander tosses that ball way up.
As Gilman gets a free possession.
Lawson with a huge hit. Hard for their libero to pass that one. That one came down with some power. Alexander, the service for Gilman. Gets a lot of topspin on that ball. Another free ball for Gilman. Another swing for Chase Drew, and he gets that one down. Gilman hitters are having a field day right now.
Indubitably, Grant.
There's tons of free balls given by the Crusaders. And Gilman looks strong to start their title defense. That one hit into the net there. Never really had the angle.
Jake Trone, the setter for St. Paul's, must be having a irritating night tonight. His sets haven't been that off, but his hitters just can't get anything going.
Oh, that's an ace there from Cam Alexander. What a serve.
That is incredible.
Looks like he has this service thing down to a science. So far, he's been perfect. Another good one there. Really tough for St. Paul's libero to get. But a nice hit there from St. Paul's, finally.
Probably their only one of the night, Grant.
Almost rolled an ankle there.
And as we look over to the entryway, we see Gilman Volleyball alumni Liam Muley looking at his phone. As St. Paul's has another serve sail out of bounds.
Libero Tyler Witherspoon. That serve just sails out. Good serve, just a little long. And that one heads outside. Declan Pollard to serve for St. Paul's. Let's see if he can get one in. Not much of a jump serve, but it's effective for him there. Point for Gilman there as St. Paul's block attempt comes up empty. 10-4 lead now. Similar start to the one they had in the first set as Cole Philippou prepares to serve. Chance for St. Paul's. That set was a little bit too low there. But they're going to keep playing it. McGowan with another hit. Seems like all the hitters are in a good rhythm and the sets have been moneyed.
No words over on St. Paul's sideline as they look like they have no idea what to do against this Gilman offense.
Another serve in. That's really all you have to do against this team. Just serve it in. They can't really seem to get any hits. McGowan, on the other hand, can. That's 2 in a row for him. And quickly, an 8-point lead. Philippou seeing if he can just put this one in play. Force St. Paul's to make something happen. He does it perfectly. And another unforced error.
Surprising mistake by the libero over on St. Paul's, as usually liberos are supposed to be perfect passers.
Another free ball here for Gilman, if they can even get it in, which they can't. And Philippou's on a bit of a service run here, like we saw in the first game with Matt Smith. Fundamentals champ breaks out.
St. Paul's does need to work on their fundamentals. They've had several missed passes, a lot of swings into the net.
Another good serve from Philippou. Let's see if St. Paul's can get a hit. Nope, they can't.
Good tip.
And just a tough pass there from St. Paul's. Gilman not even needing to hit it in order to win the point.
Apparently, Grant, as setter Jake Trone almost falls over running into the bench there.
As it's an 11-point lead, let's see if Philippou can maybe serve out this game. Just another 10 more points.
Doesn't sound too hard, does it, Grant?
Another missed pass there from St. Paul's. Philippou crushing it with his serve. Just consistent every time. Chance for a hit. Up. That one into the net. Their sets aren't really getting high enough for the hitters to have a good angle. We've seen maybe one or two that have worked out for St. Paul's.
As Cole Philippou serves, he really emulates the idea of how in volleyball you really don't need to get that much power on your serve. You just need to place it.
Yep, and a pretty easy pass there. Sails out of bounds for St. Paul's. Now 18-4. This idea of serving this game out doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Indubitably.
Oh, good swing there from St. Paul's. And the block sails out of bounds. So St. Paul's gets a point, as it looks like Gilman's going to use a timeout. We'll be right back to see the end of this second game. Hello and welcome back to this volleyball match between the St. Paul's Crusaders and Gilman Greyhounds. Gilman looking like a dominant team today. They've clung to a 13-point lead here in the second set, already leading 1-0.
As they've only allowed St. Paul's 13 points in this entire match.
See if St. Paul's can get a serve in, because their passing and hitting has not been up to par. Their coach seems a little bit upset with the team right now.
St. Paul's not able to get their rotations or their transitions or substitutions correct, something like that.
So it's another timeout, back-to-back timeouts. That's not something you see often.
Got to be a little frustrating when you're the coach. You have a timeout and you have to call another one just because you don't want to mess up these substitutions, or else you'll get a yellow card, which can oftentimes result in a loss of points.
So for Gilman, it's been a great start to their season. They're looking to close this one out 3-0. St. Paul's, on the other hand, looks a little bit rattled. They're going to try to find some form here. See if they can carry that into the third set.
Even though this second set looks a little bit out of reach, they've got to get something going.
Solid
just to
serve
get there.
there. Lee with the chance. High pass sails into the crowd.
Matt Gajewski almost falls on top of a woman.
14-point lead for Gilman as Matt Smith prepares to serve.
Matt Smith is a solid player all around.
Went on a massive service run in the first set. looking to do the same and close this game out in the second. Alexander with a chance for a hit. That one looked like it was going to sail out, but St. Paul's decided to give it a go. Solid hit nevertheless for Alexander. Back row hit there from St. Paul sails out. If you're St. Paul's, it's got to be frustrating. When you do get a hit, you either get blocked or it sails over into the net. And if you give Gilman free balls, they look like they're not going to mess up and keep hitting perfectly as that serve sails out from Matt Smith. Matt Gajewski, serve for St. Paul's. Good hit there, but a good block from St. Paul's stops Alexander from getting another one. Now a 2-point run for St. Paul's. Another good serve, but a good dig there from libero Tyler Witherspoon, and a good hit there from Stephen Lee.
He's had about 2 or 3 great hits tonight so far. That's good to see.
All the hitters on Gilman look very comfortable. The sets have been perfect tonight, as McGowan 3 points away from taking a 2-0 lead in this season opener.
Another unforced error by setter Jake Trone as he tries to set it over, but it goes right into the net. While both teams have been cleaning up their service errors, St. Paul's has not been able to clean up their unforced errors, as they've lost about half their points on those.
Chance for a back row hit here. Solid hit. Stephen Lee, that one came close, but just sails out. So it's a 15-point lead for Gilman. 2 points away from being 1 set away from a victory.
It's the best way to describe it, Grant.
Good placement on that serve. Cortese with a nice tip over. His first action of the day.
As Stephen Lee and Cole Phillip who go off, setter Noah Abrams comes in and tries to serve this set out.
They've got some height on the front line now with Chase Drew, Gus Cortese, and Cam Alexander, as that's an ace from Noah Abrams. And that'll do it for the second set. Gilman takes a commanding 2-0 lead. We'll be right back to bring you the third set.
And welcome back to Gilman Volleyball as they look to clean up in the third set against St. Paul's. Been a bit of a lopsided game so far as both sets have ended 25-8, 25-8. Grant, what do you think St. Paul's needs to do to get in a rhythm to at least bring it a little closer in this last set here?
Well, it begins with the setter. They need to see if they can get some good sets, which lead to good hits. So far, they haven't been able to do that. Good serve, however, to start this third set. Smith not able to get that hit.
As the set was a little into the net by Philippou.
So St. Paul's takes their first lead of the set at 1-0.
Good set by Jake Trone.
That hit from Smith sails out, so a 2-0 lead now for St. Paul's. Gilman seeing if they can carry some momentum from the first two games. Another point there for St. Paul's. Looks like a rules infraction from Gilman. Not sure what it was, though.
I think that was a double touch on Philippou. A little confusing to me. It looked like a pretty good set.
Yeah, maybe a hold. He sometimes has a habit of doing that. Looked like a good set there, and it was for John McGowan, a low one.
And Gilman is entering the third set here as John McGowan slams it down.
Matt Smith, solid serve. Chance for St. Paul's.
Looked like that was a double touch on Jake Trone there.
So it gives the point right back to Gilman. That makes it 2-3 St. Paul's. Matt Smith. And that one just out. No one on Gilman touched it, so it'll be their point as they tie the game up at 3 apiece.
Well, Gilman is always great in the skill department. They also have another attribute that's going for them. They always play smart. They know exactly right to put it where to put it. Pardon me. Communication, all big aspects of Coach Diego Matoris's coaching technique.
Good block there from St. Paul's, leads to another point, and they're back in the lead. Frankie Hapney with the serve for St. Paul's. Lee's forced to give them a free ball. Let's see if they can take advantage. That one looked good. Another free ball chance for St. Paul's. They're looking a little bit more comfortable here in this third set. Close, but that one sails out, which ties the game up back at 4.
St. Paul's coaching is looking a little frazzled here, Grant.
I would say this is the best St. Paul's has looked all match.
I would agree with that. They're actually having points here rather than just a bunch of unforced errors.
Free ball for Gilman. Philippou with the set to Alexander. Not the largest hit we've seen, but it's effective as Gilman takes back the lead. Solid serve by McGowan. That one looked like it was sailing out, but Smith got a hand on it. And Cam Alexander jumped a little too early there.
As we see junior Jackson Shelby coming into the game now.
Maybe setter Cole Philippou will give him a couple swings at it. Not able to tip that one over, so it's another lead for St. Paul, 6-5. definitely looking more comfortable, but Gilman also looking more uncomfortable. Not able to get as many hits down as that serve sails out. If you're St. Paul's, you can't let points like that get away. We know how powerful Gilman's attack can be. We saw it in the first 2 sets.
What do you think Gilman has been doing wrong in this third set that's been able to allow St. Paul's to get a little closer here?
I just think St. Paul's has been a little bit more controlled with their passes, not so many unforced errors, and Gilman hasn't really been able to get the digs or get the passes to get the hits like they were.
It's an embarrassing error there by St. Paul's as he tries to hit it over the net, but cannot even make it past his face.
Close to a whiff there.
Indubitably.
Abrams into the net there. His service has been strong all match. That serve's going to sail out there. We've seen far too many of those this match. Alexander now serving for Gilman. And he won't serve for Gilman. His service game last set was wonderful, but Wallace Halpert, the junior, will serve for the Hounds. Good one there, and that's an ace in his first action of the game.
Bad communication by St. Paul's as it tipped off of 2 of their players.
Another ace there from Halpert, and that's 2 in a row. Wonderful placement in the back left corner of St. Paul's court.
He is another good example of how placement is so important in serving rather than just power.
Another good one there. And another ace. It's too easy right now.
It is
Wallace
too
Halpert.
easy, Grant.
Gilman now with their biggest lead of the third set. A 4-point lead, make that 5, as they're just not able to return Halpert's serve. Having a lot of trouble, and I don't blame them. They're going to call a timeout, try to talk things over. We'll be right back to bring you the end of this third set.
Welcome back to this third set action. Halfway through, Gilman leads 12-7 as Wallace Halpert looks to serve. He's had 4 aces in a row here.
St. Paul's look to have found their rhythm early in this third set, but solid service from Halpert, and that's now 6 in a row.
What a beautiful float.
Another point there for Gilman.
Looked to be another double touch on Jake Trone.
That one, the first error for Halpert.
That was a tremendous streak though, Grant. About 6 or 7 in a row there.
St. Paul's trying to see if they can maybe get back in this third set. All of a sudden a 6-point deficit. Solid pass there from Tyler Witherspoon. Another good dig. Witherspoon really working hard in this point. Chance for Chase Drew. Free ball now. Let's look to set a little low for Shelby. Seems to be the longest point of the game here, and Chase Drew ends it. But
as it sails out, yeah. Looked like it was tipped by St. Paul's, didn't it, though?
Yeah, maybe.
Guess it was just the net.
Maybe someone touched the net, or St. Paul's didn't, in fact, touch the ball. But really good point there from St. Paul's. Able to fight till the end.
As St. Paul's has reached the most points they've had in any set at 9 right now.
It's the 25, I'm sorry. It's the 25, right? Yeah. Chase Drew. Can't get that one to go.
A little low for him.
Just a 4-point lead for Gilman this late in the third set.
As we'd like to remind everyone at home, this set is to 25. Only the 5th set, if it comes to that, is to 15.
Libero Tyler Witherspoon to serve now.
Been a little unlucky so far tonight with the serves, Grant, but I think he can get a good one here.
He does. Tough pass there. Gilman now 9 points away from starting this season off 1-0. 6-point lead, a little more comfortable. Solid hit there, but great effort from Tyler Witherspoon just to get to that one. Abrams set a little low for McGowan. So a good point there for St. Paul's as they find themselves just 5 down.
Despite Gilman losing that was an incredible effort by Tyler Witherspoon, as St. Paul's got one of their very few good hits of the night, and he was able to dig it out.
Felipe Sondry now serving for St. Paul's as they try to claw their way back into this. If they're going to want to win this game, though, they need to win 3 in a row.
And there's a good one by Chase Drew, as he had 2 unlucky ones a few points ago. Gilman stretches it back out to a 6-point lead.
Good point there from St. Paul's earlier in the match. They had some trouble with Philippou's serve. Not this time, though. As Jake Trone to serve for St. Paul's. 5 points separate the Hounds and the Crusaders. Good hit there, but a better dig there from Cole Philippou sets up McGowan to tip it over. Free ball and a chance for St. Paul's, but Gilman's going to get this point.
Looks like another double touch for St. Paul's. That is unfortunate, as Matt Smith takes the ball, ready to serve.
Gilman finds themselves 7 points away from victory. Matt Smith looking to close this one out.
Good serve there.
Back row hit from St. Paul's is a good one. St. Paul's most definitely playing their best set of the match.
As a tomahawk from Matt Smith there.
Good effort there by St. Paul's. It's going to be a free point there for Gilman, though, as the hit sails wide. 6 points away as Jackson Shelby checks in. And it'll be a timeout from St. Paul's, as it is hot in this gym. Players are going to have a chance to get some water. And we'll be right back to bring you the end of this game.
And welcome back to the final part of this third set here. Gilman leads 2-0, 19-13 as John McGowan ready to serve, hopefully serving it out.
Gilman trying to finish off the Crusaders as they've stuck around here in the third set. Just a 6-point deficit. That's a good try there from Cam Alexander. St. Paul's just hanging in there as Declan Pollard will serve. Good serve there, but a chance for Cam Alexander, who's had a nice game so far. That was perfectly executed by the libero Tyler Witherspoon, setter Cole Philippou, and the hitter Cam Alexander. Nice hit there from the Crusaders. Back to a 5-point lead for Gilman. St. Paul's has kind of found a groove and at the very least some momentum to bring into their next game. That serve sails way out.
Another one missed for St. Paul's there.
Alexander now a chance to serve. This guy's fun to watch. Tosses the ball way up in the air. Puts a ton of topspin on his serve. Chance for Holden Ginsberg. Tough set.
Looks like he slipped there. Good thing he didn't injure himself.
Yeah. That serve out. Gilman 3 points away from starting the season off with a victory as Wallace Halpert checks in for Cam Alexander. St. Paul's unable to get that one over the net, so as Michael Malice checks in, just 2 points away from a Gilman victory. Looks like they're going to put Mallison to serve, as he has a very powerful serve. No, maybe not.
Looks like there's some confusion on the bench there, Grant. It's Jackson Shelby, the junior, takes the serve.
Oh, that one was close to an ace, but sails out of bounds. Still only 6 points separate the Hounds and the Crusaders. Much closer than the first 2 sets. Abrams sets up Drew. That one just wide.
Gilman's getting a little sloppy here in the latter parts of this 3rd set.
Although they don't look as comfortable as the first 2 sets, they still look like they're in control of this game. As Halpert, with a really good back row hit, he thought one of the St. Paul's players touched it. Ref didn't exactly agree with him there. Only 4 points. As Ginsberg gets another chance. Now in a little better than his last attempt. Free ball for the Crusaders. Tips it over, and that one was out. Very close.
Some disagreement by the St. Paul sidelines.
That's closest we've seen. Game point now for the Greyhounds. Senior setter Cole Philippou will look to end this game. It's a good serve, but just sails out. So St. Paul's able to get to 20 points in this set. They've got to feel like that's a small moral victory.
Agreed.
Good tip there from McGowan, but the point is going to go to the Crusaders. Just 3 points now, a little bit closer than the Greyhounds would have wanted after winning the first 2 sets in commanding fashion. McGowan with the perfect tip, and that'll do it here. Gilman starts the season off 1-0 with a 3-0 victory over the Crusaders.
You got to think, Grant, that one of the key factors for the Hounds tonight was their hitting was off the charts. They have McGowan, Alexander, Chase Drew. Incredible lineup.
Thank you to everyone who joined us. We hope to see you back for more Greyhound volleyball in the future.